Southern Italy burns every summer. Climate, drought, Saharan winds, the explanations are familiar. But investigators have found something else in the ash. More than half of Italy's wildfires are deliberately started. And in regions controlled by the Mafia, researchers say fire has become a business. Generating contract, clearing land, and opening doors to renewable energy funds. So, who is actually lighting these fires, and why? Southern Italy is once again battling thousands of wildfires. But investigators and researchers now believe many of these blazes are not just climate disasters. They may also be part of a sophisticated criminal business model. According to research reported by CNN in 2025, while soaring temperatures, prolonged drought, and hot Sirocco winds from the Sahara are making wildfires more destructive, organised crime groups are suspected of exploiting these conditions to expand their influence and generate profits. Authorities say more than half of Italy's wildfires are deliberately started, with motives ranging from land clearing and personal vendettas to insurance fraud, public contracts, and land speculation. After more than 8,000 fires devastated Sicily in 2021, the Regional Anti-Mafia Commission launched an investigation. It concluded that although extreme weather created ideal fire conditions, criminal activity remained the most dangerous factor behind many of the blazes. Lauren Pearson, a researcher at the University of California, Berkeley, who spent months interviewing prosecutors, police, environmental groups, and residents in Sicily, says the evidence increasingly points towards organised crime.
The Mafia is weaponizing fire in the region for control and financial gain. The way mafias operate, in the shadows and with high levels of control over communities, means hard data linking them to fires is fiendishly hard to pin down.
Pearson says investigators have also uncovered signs that burned land may later be used for renewable energy projects.
There is also evidence that mafia organizations may be using fire to procure land to broker deals for solar and wind infrastructure, with the hope of tapping into clean energy transition funds.
One farmer, whose testimony appears in the Anti-Mafia Commission's report, said he was approached by solar companies shortly after his land had burned. Pearson says the situation exposes a disturbing contradiction.
There's a cruel irony at play. The mafia appears to be both weaponizing climate change, which is whipping up more destructive fires, as well as trying to exploit funding intended to address it. The Italian mafia are masters at figuring out how to illegally garner new funds. As well as using fire for financial gain, experts say it also fits with the mafia's culture of violence. It's a weapon of intimidation and terror, a way to declare that the land is still theirs.
Environmental organisation Legambiente, which has tracked ecological crime for decades, says the problem extends well beyond traditional mafia operations.
These criminal activities are not just a mafia business. Experts say there is a fire industry in southern Italy because there are so many people involved. But even when the mafia is not directly responsible, it's unimaginable anyone would deliberately start a fire in mafia-controlled territory without its permission.
In 2023, more than half of Italy's nearly 3,700 wildfires occurred in Sicily, Calabria, Campania, and Puglia, regions historically dominated by Italy's four major mafia organizations. Former Anti-Mafia Commission spokesman Sergio Nazzaro says the repeated pattern cannot be ignored. According to Nazzaro, every wildfire creates a lucrative business opportunity.
Fire is money. It creates an emergency that has to be solved and profits for the companies that step in. There are contracts for firefighting, cleanup operations, and rebuilding. The Mafia is a multi-layered criminal enterprise that goes from the labor force that sets the fire to the concession to build on burned land.
Italian prosecutors stress there is currently no conclusive evidence directly linking mafia groups to specific wildfires. However, officials acknowledge that burned land frequently becomes the focus of land speculation.
Nonostante tutte le precauzioni prese con parafuochi e quant'altro, ma la velocità del vento e quindi del fuoco ha superato anche 6-8 metri di parafuoco e ha colpito gli uliveti. Non abbiamo potuto salvare nulla, perdendo la produzione di quest'anno e anche gli alberi in sé, quindi la produzione di olio extravergine futuro siciliano. Incendi in tutto il territorio siciliano con un grande dispendio di forze da parte della protezione civile, vigili del fuoco e il corpo forestale, ma nonostante ciò queste temperature alte, il forte vento non si riesce a domare gli incendi.